I don't want. We could end white people in a generation if you just fuck.
Which you know, that's what Hotep black people think is the agenda, is to get rid of us and create a ambiguous culture.
Interesting.
We're back in Hotep. We always talk about Hotepism.
Back to Dr. Umar.
We always talk about Hotepism when we get on this show. I love that we get
back to Dr. Umar.
Well, you know what it is now. That ideology has kind of trickled over into the black gay community. There are a lot of black. Don't let the black gays on that side of the conversation catch me talking like this. They gonna come for my ass real hard. There's a big conversation happening right now about like. Wow. You know, if you lay down with the white man as a gay black man, you are a buck breaker. You've been over for the oppressor. They're copying that language, and there's like
that's insane because there's no way, like I'm gonna guess Dr. Umar not the most LGBTQ friendly guy. Like there's no way those Hotep guys are like big on. It's like this weird thing of like almost like you're not gonna get accepted here. It's like black Republicans,
but you
right?
know, I don't even think it's acceptance.
Or I'm sorry, gay Republicans.
Yeah, I mean
either one. Yeah.
I don't even think they're craving the acceptance of like a Dr. Umar type. They're just adopting the language to speak on a greater thing of like.
A cultural thing.
Yeah, like
overall for black people in general.
In general, of like a conversation of like this is like erasing, but it's like no, we don't produce. So number one, we can't do that.
Yeah, whatever you want.
Yeah, so it's I don't know. I mean, it's a tricky conversation to have.
That is
I'm
interesting.
not gonna stop fucking anybody I want, so that ain't gonna stop me. But like, I think that like. It's interesting to me the way, like you said, like gay Republicans. I mean, have you seen the black revamp of Candace Owens?
No.
I'm loving this like spin she's doing.
What's she doing?
She's like showing up on black media, like going to Breakfast Club, like talking to black journalists. Like she's like kind of doing like a little circle to the community.
What's she trying to do? Is it working? I don't know.
I think she's trying to run for president.
I can see that.
Which honestly,
you're in?
I'd hear it out. How crazy would that be? Our first black woman president. Well, this was like staunchly Republican. I think that's what this country deserves. Actually,
that's true. This was actually a come town bit where Mullen. It was a great point. How the funniest thing in the world would be if the first woman president was black or any minority, because then white women would have to pretend they were happy for them, you know? And it's like, and you could tell. And then if it just kept going, it was like black woman president, Chinese, then goes back to like Latino guy, then white guy, and it never gets to white woman. How it would be? They would be so pissed for like 50 years, and they have to keep pretending they were happy about it.
I'm gonna say
that would be hilarious.
If we had a black woman as the president and she was Republican, we might get revenge.
Yeah. She's like big mistake. She's like, you fell for our ruse. I will be appointing Dr. Umar Secretary of State. It was a Republican Trojan horse.
And the first
white slavery is coming back.
And the first thing we're getting rid of is Loving v. Virginia. Goodbye. and all interracial marriages are annulled.
They've been dissolved in the eyes.
Segregation is back. We're having black only water fountains. White people, y'all don't get water fountains.
White people have puddles now.
Y'all drink from the street. Drink from the sewer.
I love it. That would be that's how to do it, folks. It's not going to be through Obama.
He's not coming back.
He's not coming back.
It really, to me, it's like, he's not coming back.
No. He's making Netflix documentaries.
Oh my God! Hey, did you see Rustin? Look, I love Carmen Domingo. I love the moment he's having in Hollywood. But that movie was so boring. But it's like, oh yeah, the Obamas made this.
Yeah, like, it's not gonna be. It's like what
like book report ass movie.
Dude, I just remember when he left office being like, all right, like I was like, you know, this is gonna be good. He's a young president. Like I remember like just doing the mental gymnastics to be like, okay, he couldn't get everything done he wanted to in his term, but as like a figure in our politics, it just kind of like looms over shit. And then at the second he's out of office, he's fucking paragliding with Richard Branson. He's paragliding with billionaires. It's like, oh no, of course he's not going to do anything.
He's a rich dude.
He's a rich fuck. He's a part of the like. He's a part of the. You know, the same thing with like. I mean, the reason fucking Joe Biden's fucking dementia ass is president is because Bernie was winning, and then Obama makes the call to all the moderates to be like, everybody fall in line behind Biden?
No, I was an Elizabeth Warren guy, but I also like, you know, which is like really gay.
Yeah.
That's how I was saying it in my mouth. I was like, that might be the gayest thing I've ever said. I was down for Elizabeth Warren. I just thought she was like really smart, and I'm like, oh, this is. But I knew,
and she was pretty. She was pretty liberal.
No chance. Yeah. It was like, damn,
no sauce.
She ain't had no sauce. Yeah, she wasn't out here calling people bitches to their face. You know, not enough. Not enough. You got to match. You got to match with this motherfucker.
I know. She would have gotten worked by Trump.
She would have
gotten worked by Trump. I mean, back to it's so funny. Yeah, I mean, he's so funny. There's no way we can pretend he's not the most fucking hilarious guy of all time.
People hate when I say this,
but it's they're lying.
When I met him, I met him before.
Oh yeah, because he did SNL.
I wasn't there when he did SNL.
Oh, you weren't.
I used to work at like a restaurant down in the financial district, and like back in like 20. This before the election, before he got into politics.
Yeah, before he got into politics, he was
so nice when I met him.
Funniest guy of all time. Everything he did was hysterical. I mean, we've talked about this before. In college, we would play him talking about Rosie O'Donnell. We had like memorized that like monologue. He was like talking about how he's gonna fuck her wife and like, you know, I'm gonna take some money out of her fat ass pockets. And we're just like, who feuds with Rosie O'Donnell? It was like
besides Elizabeth Hasselbeck.
Yeah. And then it became, you know, he became everything funny about him also just translated
into darkness.
You're like, damn, but it was still. Anyway, sorry to cut you off.
No, he was a good tipper. Also, I was like, oh my god, he was like holding court with the table, talking to me all nice or whatever. I don't remember really what he said, but it was just like, oh, this is the guy on TV that I like. Yeah. And then he come down that fucking escalator. I'm like, well, who the fuck is this?
Yeah. That's what. I mean, Shane's met him before. I think he met him at UFC, and he was just talking about how it's like, yeah, he's just an old rich guy who compliments everyone. He's just like he just tells everyone they're handsome. Yeah. He literally told every man he saw he looked very handsome. And it's like, that's hilarious. He's a rich old guy who's like, you look beautiful. It's like telling other men they fucking look handsome is such a funny move. Anyway,
my goodness.
Whatever. We're not going to solve the election right now, but we can solve some people's problems, Alex. I think with your expertise, we can really help our friends here. So Eldest, why don't you dial up some? And by the way, do you have anything to plug? Anything you want people to check out? Or
I forget the date, but at the end of July, I will be in Nashville. Okay. And I'm doing a Zanies? Yes. Zanies. I'm trying to remember the name of the club. So yeah, they already have it online. So just get on the calendar, go to the end of July.
You gonna hit the road a little bit when you guys are off?
I don't really have a whole lot of dates set up yet. But I'll probably like tell people that. You know, my Instagram is public.
Yeah. Check out his shit. Check out Alex's shit. Great point, my friend who's on this podcast right now. I just want to take a break from our riveting conversation to highlight the listeners of this show, because we've told them over and over again, hey, give us a 5-star review. And some of them will do it through the kindness of their hearts, but others, they need attention. And we're here to give it to them. So what we're going to do here occasionally on this program, when we don't have a mid-roll advertisement, we will highlight some of our favorite 5-star reviews. You'll get on here if you're witty, you keep it quick, and it's 5 stars. Take the 4 stars and shove them. I don't want to hear, this is North Korea media as far as I'm concerned. And listen, you can trash us. You can trash me and Eldest, but give us 5 stars. Trash us personally, say something nice about the show and give us 5 stars. You can be on it. We prefer if you didn't. Here, for example, our friend Joel Ocasio says, maybe some connection to Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, who knows. Best show he's ever heard. Stabby Baby could bang my girlfriend if I had one. This is the only show that I am checking my phone every 10 minutes the day of an episode is to come out. Sounds like Eldest needs to be doing a little better with the uploads. Love it. Keep doing it. And if you ever make a movie, please use an all-Albanian indentured servant crew for the set. Yeah, right. And the fucking cameras go missing overnight. Nice thinking. But thank you for that 5-star review. Here's one from Skolnia, the best comedian podcast right now. Wow, that makes us feel good. Listening to this show as a balding man has given me the confidence to grow my hair out. That's what I like to hear. No one has a better time with guests and gives incredible life advice while being funny. I even love Eldest and his incompetence. Hey, it's shocking how good Eldest is. This show, the fact that this show comes out at all is incredible. He really pulls it off. Here's one from Han Jason. I peed. One of the best podcasts. Are You Garbage episodes insanely funny. Love those boys. My coworkers now think I have a disability or I'm on lots of drugs from laughing so hard. Well, that's what we can hope for, is that your coworkers think you're fucked up on the job thanks to this podcast. Thank you for those 5-star reviews. Do we have any more? That's it for this ep. One more?
Yeah.
Sure, Just Too Drunk. Without question, the best podcast out there. Stabby is witty, funny, and incredibly easy to binge. Jeez, Jess, thank you. Best Patreon out there as well. Only $5 a month. You get exclusive episodes ad-free. That's correct. One of the only comedians I can not recognize the first name of and decide to listen to anyways. Stabby introduced me to so many incredible comedians and puts them on. I do like doing that. A real comedian's comedian. If I can go back in time, it would be to when I found Stabby's World. Eldest, you rule. Now that's beautiful. Eldest does rule. And thank you for putting an organic plug to the Patreon in there too. We're just doing this to get 5-star reviews. But hey, if you want to sign up for the Patreon, Just Too Drunk, they are right about that. We also have a great Patreon, and we don't miss. We've never in almost. Is it over 2 years? How long have we been doing this? A year and a half?
I think it'll be 2 years this fall or winter. Or
2 year, yeah, that's right. 2 years in December.
Yeah.
In a year and a half, we haven't missed an upload ever. We've been late like only a handful of times.
Yeah, sure. There's been a handful of 10 p.m. uploads.
Right. Eldest is on the day it comes out. It's come out at 11 p.m. Which, are you even doing it that day? Not really. But hey, he was probably on vacation and assured me it wouldn't affect his work quality. He could definitely find Wi-Fi in Hawaii. But either way, we've never taken a day off, and we won't. We record in batches so that the people have a steady stream of podcasts. But thank you for the 5-star reviews. Keep them coming. We love you. And now, what were we talking about, buddy? All right, I'll just play us a couple calls.
Okay.
What's up, Stabby? I work in a service industry job, and I just made a horrible mistake by hooking up with a coworker last night.
Classic.
And she's cool and everything. She's a little bit older than me. I'm like 23 and she's like 29. But like, I'm worried it's gonna make things awkward at work because there's no way that nobody talks about it or anybody is able to keep this under wraps.
Of course.
And I was also hooking up with a different coworker prior to that.
Respect.
Who still works there. So now we're all going to be working together, and everybody that we work with is going to know
This fucking dumbass.
that I'm a piece of shit. And quitting this job is not an option. Like, I'm kind of working myself into like a management position, and yeah, I just don't know the best way to make this go over as smooth as it possibly can.
I love it.
I don't know if that's possible.
It's not.
But yeah, I appreciate it.
I love these calls. This style of call is
Nigga
awesome.
work at the Bear.
Yeah. It's literally like, go ahead, were you going to say
An
something?
aspiring manager at a restaurant, I'm sure he won't be fucking any other employees.
I know, dude.
Right.
First of all, this is the culture of working in restaurants. You're 23, and you're like, it's not an option. Let me tell you something. It is an option.
Yeah, you're so young.
You can fucking go to a different seafood restaurant.
Right.
But also, I love this genre of call where people do something horrible and they're like, it's the equivalent of like the call is like, they don't call you to talk them out of the murder. They call you to help clean up the body.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, you did it. You already you knew what you were doing. You're a young dumbass. And listen, I'm not even judging you. That's what working in restaurants is.
That's what it is.
Were you ever
Oh,
working in
always.
restaurants?
Yeah, always. I mean, there was a lot of women a lot of times that I worked with, like waiting tables, stuff like that. Usually the guys were like the chefs and like front of house sometimes too. But like, I think like, how is it impossible that no one talks about it though? I'm like, I'm wondering is the dynamic there?
No, they're gonna talk about it.
You think?
Absolutely.
Because I don't know that people just be like publicly being like, I fucked him, right? Or like,
come on, in restaurants they weren't gossiping about who was fucking who.
I don't really recall there being a
like
lot
behind
of that.
each other's backs. You don't think like if you're in a restaurant and somebody and the new girl fucks the fucking chef. You don't think people are gonna start whispering about that?
Maybe, I guess, or even like just like the way people behave around people who have hooked up, I guess, could be obvious.
And I'm just going off because I never worked service industry. I was always too clumsy and stupid, and you couldn't remember.
I mean, you spend a lot of time with these people. You spend like 15-hour days with them.
Totally. But I'm working at like just offices. Oh, it spread. Who fucked who was all over. It was all over the lunchroom.
But I kind of want to say, I feel like he's overestimating the impact of it. You know what I mean? Where it's like
possible.
People be fucking, and I think we're at a point in time right now where it's just like, oh, you fucked him? Yeah, I fucked him too. Okay, yeah, let's just put these chicken rings on this fucking plate and let's keep it moving. Like,
well, it's also
deep, but I don't know their relationship either. So
but I do think you might be onto something where it's like, look, dude, you might actually be the little piece of ass they're passing around.
Right, exactly.
You're worried about all their feelings. You're 23, she's 29. I don't know how old the other girl was, but you might be for the team. You don't even know that. You might be getting your fucking little boy pussy worked over. You might be getting, sexed into TGI Fridays. That's a possibility, you know?
That is a possibility.
Now, I think, my guess is maybe, she's 29. I mean, you also can't tell though, because people who are like career, like service industry people that aren't doing it to do something else, or even if they are, and like if let's say this woman's like a 29-year-old actress who it just hasn't happened for her for fucking 8 years,
and now she got to settle into this position,
and so like sometimes it could go either way. I could see it going either way because it's like these people are either like whatever, I'm just trying to get a nut off this guy, who cares, or like people start getting desperate when shit doesn't go their way and they've been a waiter the whole time and no one's buying that screenplay, and like you just never know, right? So we do need a little more context.
I'd say,
and it also matters on how
low-key. Just
how he handles it.
I think how he should go about it is like, don't bring it up unless somebody else brings it up to you, because you can't control like people talking about it behind your back, but you can control like your engagement with it. Like they can know whatever until they confront you with it. Maybe just like don't even bother. Don't even let it change the way you behave.
Yeah, don't try and get ahead of it.
Don't try. Yeah, like you didn't hurt.
Lay low, brother. Yeah, lay low.
You didn't harm anyone. Just kind of like you had your sex. They got theirs too.
I wonder though. I agree with you, but I wonder. The thing tripping me up is what the different coworker,
the other coworker,
because we don't know anything about that, and we don't know anything about this one either. Because he just said it like it's a hookup. Like, was it a drunken hookup? Has this woman been pursuing him for a while? Has he been pursuing her?
Involved?
Were there did he dog the other girl? Right? Like, is the other girl maybe somebody his age who wanted to date him, and he just fucked her and like kind of ghosted her and just ignores her at work?
We fight both of them and said, "I love you" when he came.
You're the only one for me. Looking in my eyes, and then he cream pied her.
Or he fucked one of them better than the other.
Right.
That's the conversation. You know what I mean?
That's another one.
He sucked your toes. He didn't suck my toes. What the fuck? Yeah.
There's a lot
missing here. But
we don't know a lot.
Just err on the side of just like leave it where it is. If they are talking about it, hey, whatever.
I also just sometimes you get a young call and it's like. It doesn't really matter. These are the mistakes of youth. There might be fallout, but guess what?
Life is not over.
You'll figure it out, and the next time you're presented with this, you know how to behave. And also, even though the importance he places on this job, I'm willing to bet my life you're wrong about not quitting this job, about this job not quitting this job not being an option. It is a huge option.
I mean, I'm curious, like where he lives and like, because in his voice it sounds like, oh yeah, this is like I need this job. Yeah. It feels like that. So
and look, you might need a job, but it's still the same thing where it's like,
but you're 23.
You're 23.
There's so much opportunity waiting for you in your life.
Like a 23-year-old. The manager might have said, yeah, man, one day I could see you doing this. And in his mind,